gonna, in this one, to do a little bit of review from Algebra 2. Some of you might have had this, depending on the COVID stuff last year. I think most of you had it, just a matter of how in-depth you got. So we're gonna simplify, multiply, and divide with these rational expressions, okay? So these pretty simple. You did these back in Algebra 1, you're just gonna straight out divide. So 20 over 14, if you divided 2 out of both, it would be 10 over 7. And if you divide your x's, you're left with x to the 4th. Okay. Now we get to binomials here, and the idea here is we want to factor everything that can be factored, and then simplify it from there. So factor this, we can take out a GCF of a 6, k minus 6 left. Okay, and we have two factors that are the same, so k minus 6 over k minus 6 cancels, so you're just left with 6 as your answer. Okay, same thing here. We want to factor everything out. This would be y plus 8 and y minus 6. Y plus 8's cancel, so I'm left with an answer of 1 over y minus 6. Here I would factor out a 2 first. So GCF of a 2 gives me r squared minus r minus 20. And then factor it again, and you get r minus 5 and r plus 4. On the bottom here, I would take an 8 out, and you're left with r plus 4. Okay, so those cancel out. And 2 over 8, I can reduce to 1 over 4. And I'm left with the r minus 5 up top. Okay, now notice this one. Okay, the top one here, I have p plus 7 and p minus 7. Okay, on the bottom here, now this doesn't quite match this, right? It's a negative p. These are both positive p's. Positive 7, negative 7, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to factor out a negative 1, which makes that negative p a positive p, and the positive 7 a negative 7. So then I have factors that would cancel out, and my answer is negative of p plus 7. Or you could say it's negative p minus 7. Either would be okay. Okay, up here I can factor out a 3a, and I'm left with 4a squared minus 1. Here I can take out a 6a squared, and I'm left with 2a plus 1. Okay, I can factor this farther. 2a plus 1, 2a minus 1. Okay, and 3 divided by 6 is 1 over 2. A over a squared is an a on the bottom. Those two cancel. 2a minus 1 on the top. Okay, number 7. On the top here, I would factor out a 2 first. On the bottom, I'd factor a 2. Okay, so the 2's will cancel, and we can keep factoring stuff here. This is n plus 1 and minus 1. Be 3n and n. We need 4 plus 1 and plus 1, so 3 and 1. Okay, those will cancel. 3n plus 1 over n minus 1. Okay, so this one here, the top you can take out a 5. Okay, on the bottom, okay, this one here, I have 3w and w, and minus 9 and plus 1 gives me negative 1 there too. It'd be negative 27 and negative 1 give you negative 28. Okay, now these are not quite the same, but almost. So if I take a negative out, it makes that a positive w and a negative 9. Now those are the same and they can cancel out, so you have a negative 5 over 3w minus 1. Okay, that's the simplifying part. The multiplying part, really kind of the same idea, except we just So if I just have monomials here, I could just multiply them. So this would be 60 x to the 5th and y to the 7th, and 36 x squared y to the 4th. And if I reduce these, 60 divided by 36, I get 5/3. The x's would be x to the 3rd on the top, and the y's would be y to the 3rd on the top as well. Okay, number 10, same sort of idea there. Be 20, a to the 5th and b to the 8th. 15 times 12 is 180, a to the 5th and b to the 10th. Okay, 20 over 180 is 1/9. The a's will cancel, and you'll have a b to the 2nd on the bottom. Okay, when you're multiplying, you really just want to factor it all out and see what will all cancel. So on the top here, if I factor out a 4x, I'm left with x minus 1 left. If I take this and factor, that's x plus 3 and x minus 2. Bottom here, I would first take a 2 out. I'm going to do that over here. So take a 2 out, and then if I keep factoring farther, that'd be x plus 3 and x minus 1. Here I can take a 4x out and x plus 2. Okay, so now I look to see what will cancel out. So 4 divided by 4, x divided by x, x plus 3, x plus 3, x minus 1, x minus 1. Okay, so I'm left with an answer of, on the top, x minus 2, on the bottom 2 times x plus 2. Same idea over here. I want to factor it all out and see what will cancel. I'm going to use that little -1 trick here to get these turned around. So that makes that a 5v squared and a negative 10v. So out of that, I'll take a 5v out with a negative. I'm left with v minus 2. With this one here, v minus 9 and plus 1. This would be v minus 9 and v minus 2. Okay, now I'm going to cancel stuff out. Negative 5 over 15 is a negative 1/3. V over v cancels. V minus 2's cancel. V minus 9's cancel. I'm left with the v plus 1 up top. So v plus 1 over negative, or negative v plus 1 over 3. Okay, when I divide, if you think back to just regular fractions, right? If you take 1/2 divided by 2/3, you wrote that as 1/2 times 3 over 2. Okay, so you made it into a multiplication problem. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to change this to multiply. We're going to put the 8q to the 5th on the top, and that on the bottom. So now I have this times this. And we do the same exact thing as we did up at the top there. So it would be 40pq to the 6. 16 times 35 gives you 560. P to the 5th and q to the 2nd. 40 divided by 560 is 1 over 14. Your p's, you have p4 on the bottom. Your q's, you have q to the 4th on the top. Okay, once again, we're dividing. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so this times this now. Okay, so same as on the top there, we're going to factor everything out and see what will cross out. So there we can take a 4 out, x minus 2 left. Up here, x minus 3x plus 2. And here, take out a 2x. I'm left with x plus 3. 1 second, Bethany. Okay, 10 divided by 4 would be 5 over 2. X, oh, nothing cancels here, does it? Oh, actually, I can multiply these together too, so this would be 8x here. And, whoops, hold on, let me go back. Okay, I made a couple mistakes there, so this would be a -3 and a +2. I'm sorry, I made a mistake there, which means that's a positive 3 and a negative 2. Okay, now I think we're good. Okay, so x plus 3's, x minus 2's cancel. On the bottom I have 8x, so 10 divided by 8x would be 5 over 4x. Okay, last two problems. Okay, once again divide, so we're going to multiply and flip those around there. So here you can take a 2a squared out, a minus 6. This is going to the top, that'd be a minus 5 and a minus 3. This one here, a negative 6 and plus 2. And this one goes to the bottom. I can take an 8a squared out and be 3 minus a. Okay. Notice these are almost the same, just opposite, so I'm going to take that negative out front. Makes that an a minus 3, so now those will cancel. A minus 6's, okay. 2 over 8 is 1 over 4. A squareds cancel. So on the top I have a minus 5. On the bottom I have an a plus 2 yet. Okay, last one. I have k plus 3 over k. I'm dividing by this one, so I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, so the 4k plus 1 goes on the bottom. I'm multiplying by this, so it's going to stay. So 4k plus 1, 4k minus 1, and k plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to cancel stuff out. Left with 4k minus 1 over k. Some people would be tempted to simplify those, but you can't because this is one factor. The only thing that'll take that out is 4k minus 1.